I suppose the question is, how were you able to take them above and beyond, what they had achieved in 2011? And of course, they were number one ranked in the world for 4 years prior to that tournament as well.
Mm. It was a good question I asked myself at the time. Well, we've just won the World Cup. What are we going to do different that's going to motivate and drive myself, the people that are going to work for us, and get the players excited to be motivated. So, went through a whole process of, what direction did I want to take the team in, and how did we want to play in going in that direction, and then, said, righto, well, if we've been number one for so long, we've just won the World Cup, what would be the next step? And the next step would be to go out and really dominate. And what does that look like? What does domination look like? So that's basically what we tried to do.
One of the years that stands out for me is 2013. I believe you won 14 out of 14 that year, which is astronomical. And then you also played two of the best test matches we've probably seen this decade, against South Africa away and Ireland at the Aviva Stadium, where you come back from 19-0 down. Apart from 2015, was that one of your most greatest years as a coach in New Zealand?
Yeah, well, that game sits in our memory because, we achieved something that, going undefeated and being the only team in modern history to do that. The game itself was a, fabulous game. As you can imagine, Lansdowne Road was, or Aviva Stadium as it's called now, was going off completely. And what I loved was the ability of the boys to stay in the moment. And, I thought Richie, Rito and the leadership group led the team well that day. So that was wonderful. But probably the game that stands out the most was that South African one. It was a heck of a test. Probably the best test I've been involved in. And both teams just went for it, like two big lions, and deciding who's going to be the boss. And I think, a draw would have been a great result, but it was nice to be able to come out on top.
And having spoken to Sean Fitzpatrick, and we talk about that Ireland game, he said when he was given his first test jersey, the first thing he was told is you're expected to win. And does that what separates New Zealand from every other country in the world?
Yeah, well, I think it is different. You are expected to win, and everyone knows you can win. I think back to my time with Wales. Everyone wanted Wales to win, but I don't think they all believed they could. And I think that's the same with a lot of other nations. But our external, and I don't want to sound, arrogant here, but over time, our complete history of our game is that the All Blacks are expected to win, and not only expected to win, but to do it with panache. And if they don't, all hell breaks loose. And they've lost their aura, and they're not the All Blacks that they used to be. And, it's quite dramatic. But when you're being successful, it's about learning from winning, which is a lot harder, I might add, than learning from when you lose, because when you lose, there's nowhere to look really than in the mirror.